Okay, so in today's video we're going to be showing you how to build this pergola, which is we're actually using it for swings and gymnastic stuff. So you can see over here we've got 2 swing seats. We've actually got one more swing to go in that third space, and then we've got these gymnastic bars at the end, and we actually do have some ring bars that hang off the top bar there as well for gymnastic stuff. So we wanted to do it more pergola style rather than sort of functional swing looking stuff, so it's got a bit of longevity as well. So we'll show you how to make this, but basically made up of 4x4 posts, 6x2 at the top there, and some 2x4s as well on the top, and then we use a railing and a clamp system bar at the end here. So I'll go ahead now and show you, if you're not as familiar with how to sort of get all this sort of stuff set up, we'll show you how to get it all set up and hopefully give you an idea of how long it is and stuff. But it took about it took a weekend to build this, so giving you an idea, the structure itself is 5.4 meters for the main 8 posts by 2 meters, and then we've got these 2 gymnastics bars at the end, so it's just about an extra meter long, so it's about 6.4 meters in total. So let's go ahead and show you how we made it. How we're doing it, but we're going to be basically putting in 8 posts like this. So these are 4x4 posts, we'll be putting them in. It's 5.4 meters wide, 2 meters deep, 8 posts set in 18-inch trenches filled with postcrete, and then posts. That's it really. So that's stage 1. Once obviously we've done this, we'll show you stage 2, which is putting up the braces and the pergola style as well. And obviously the third stage will be putting the actual swings and the fittings on. So that's what we're going to be building, and now we'll kind of wind back and show you the steps if you're interested in how to get this done. Okay, so we're building out this playground area today. It's going to be a pergola style. It's about 5.4 meters in length, 2 meters deep, and it's going to have 8 posts set out with a pergola style across the top. So we're using 4x4 posts, we're using postcrete to cement them into the ground, and we'll be using some 6x2s across the top to give us a kind of look across the top, and then we're using 4x2s for the top pergola pieces, but we'll show you that as we kind of go through the build. So first up we're going to dig the 8, we've dug the 8 holes actually. I've used an auger. I'll show you a little thing about using the auger, but you can dig them obviously by hand if you want to dig them by hand. We're digging 16 to 18 inch holes. I'll just show you what we're doing. I use this auger to drill my holes. Pretty well, if you go down to the bottom here, that gives you about an 18-inch hole down to here, which is good for post, gives you lots of strength. And the diameter of this is about 8 inches. It's perfect for a bag of postcrete, so you kind of get a one-on-one postcrete next to it, which is really good. So first of all you need to really do is lay out your square, so you make sure you get it set square. In this case, we've got a fence running not quite square, so we're choosing to do the playground area against the fencing, so it's going to run slightly what will look off skew to the camera. We put this post in. I've set this into the with the postcrete now. It's still dry, the mix at the moment. So what I can then do is I can just adjust this to get this spot on. I've already done my string line for the holes, so you kind of make sure you've got your holes laid out perfect. And then what we're doing now is I've used one of the 4x2s. That gives me a perfect straight. Just put a screw in here, holds it into the post. And then for my third post, again I've screwed it in, I've levelled this up, using a couple of stakes to make sure that things can just hold still. And I just dry pack it. So when you dry pack these, get your post mix, dry pack them into the hole, and then you can literally just stamp it down and make sure that it's really nice and solid in there. Once you've done that, you can go ahead and fill in the with some water, half a bucket of water, to get those to set off. So I'm going to first of all do these two. That will give me the squareness that I need for my area, and then I'll start to do the other posts, and I'll just make sure as we do them we've got a nice square between them, and we'll also do a triangle to make sure our triangle is perfect as well. So that's how we're setting it up. So as I said, these are 4x4 3-meter lengths. Our playground area for our swings is going to be 2.4 meters high. It's about right for a swing. So we will cut these off and trim them when they're up later. So that's the layout. I'll go ahead now and just set all these back in, nothing special. And you can see us as we set these 8 posts into the ground. Okay, so we've now got 5 of the 6 posts concreted in. What I'm going to do now is just do the last one, just show you a couple of more little tips as I do this one. We'll just zoom in here. So you'll see what we've got. We've got the 4x2 just up against those 2 4x4 posts, and that gives me a centre point where that bag of postcrete is in the middle there. I've got my support brackets ready, my spirit level ready. You won't be able to see this on the camera, but these markings are 170 apart, so the posts are 170 apart here between them. So what I do is I mark on the 4x4 where I need it. So here I've got my centre point here ready, right here where the pencil is. So when I put my post in, it comes up against here, it's bang on in the middle. Then I know it's dead in the middle. Then I can just get my post mix, put my post mix, support it. So we'll just do that now. Okay, so that's going to probably be it for today. I'm going to let all of these set now overnight. So we kind of pan out. We've now got 8. There's our 8 set. So as you can see, it's about, say, 5.4 meters by 2 meters. So it's a pretty decent sized play area. That's taken about 2 to 3 hours in total. I did dig the holes, so but I did use the machine, which is only sort of 20-30 minutes to do it. So there you go, and we'll come back. I'm going to clear up and come back tomorrow and do the top and the actual top of the pergola bit to finish it off. Okay, so just show you what we're going to be doing now. Next up, we're going to be notching out of all the tops. So you can see here, we've notched out essentially the 6x2 space, the top of the post. So I'll show you now on the next one how we do that. so you can see how to go about doing that. So we'll just move to the next one. These will probably take about 10 minutes each actually, because you need to sort of set your ladders up and be safe. So probably sort of an hour's work now to get this done. So I'll show you this one and then I'll whiz around and do the rest. Okay, so to get your measurement, you take a bit of your 6x2, you've got your line already marked out, which is your level line. Place it up there and just draw a line down here. And that gives you a cut line. So now I've got my line here, and line across. Okay, so now all the tops are notched out. What we're going to do next here is we've got our 6x2 here. So we're measuring it up just to do a pattern on the end. I'm going to offer it up to the post first, just so I can make sure it all fits nicely and I can make sure it's exact. So you could do it by measure. I think I've got it marked up, but I want to just double check. So I'm going to get someone to help. We'll get that lifted up and we'll just double check the pattern, then we can go ahead and mark and drill. So for the ends you can cut them whichever shape you want, and then what we've done now, we've just marked up against the posts so you can see where the lines are. I'm going to pre-drill 2 holes in each. I've done this at 4 centimeters and 11 across the wood, and I've done that consistently so I get it even across the shape. And I've done that for each post. So now I'm going to go ahead and just drill the holes down the wood. Okay, so we've now placed the 2 6x2s on top of the posts. I've just temporarily held them in with some screws. They've obviously got the pre-drilled holes. I'm going to use coach bolts. I've got 120mm coach bolts. So I'm now going to drill through at the top of each one and put 2 coach bolts on each one. So there's 16 coach bolts going in, which will secure the 6x2s to the top of the posts. Okay, so that will be the next thing we're going to do now. Okay, so the structure's now got all of the coach bolts in. I was short of a couple, but you'll see the coach bolts across the top there. So there's the coach bolts. So what we're going to do now is put the top of the Pagoda on. So what I'm going to do for this one, I'm using 4x2 this time. And I'm going to replicate the sort of top structure. It's a 4x2, so rather than coming in 5 centimeters on this one, I'm going to come in just 2 centimeters on the cut I'm doing here. So you can see there on the drawing, I've basically taken a 4.8 meter length because of the structure of this one and dividing it into 2. So I've got 2.4 meter lengths now. The construction's 220, so therefore I've got about 9 centimeters either side to play with. Okay, so you'll obviously cut yours to your exact measurements. So I'm going to go away now and cut that. So I'm going to cut here, and that will then give me a piece when I'm done. So my cut will be almost the width, which there is 224. So that is 222, which is here, which is what I want. So I'll just do this freehand. So just following the cut from the top there. Okay, so once we've done that one, now I've done the 2 cuts on that, I'm going to offer that up and we'll see, make sure that's kind of all working. Once I'm happy with the fit, pull this back up here. Once I'm happy with the fit of this one, I'll then use this as a template for my others. So again, sort of following the pattern. Okay, so you can see what we've done, and then what I'll do now is I'll cut them. I'm going to do mine in pairs, so I'm going to have a pair at this point, just to give it the strength it needs in the actual construction. So that's how I'm going to do mine. So I'm going to cut those now. I've got about 5 planks to cut, so I'll use that as my template guide, cut the rest of them, and then put my pairings in across the top. Okay, so we've now put the top braces on, or the top of the they're cut in. So I've just done pairs across the top of the posts there, as we discussed before. So it's pretty well done now. Obviously, if you're using it as a canopy, it'll probably be fine like that. We're going to be using it for swings, so it may need 1 extra brace putting in. So I may just put an extra brace in somewhere, just thinking about where to put that. We're going to try and get the swing now and see how much movement there is. There's a little bit of movement in it, not a lot, so I just want to see if I can brace it somewhere to give it a bit of more extra support. So this was our pergola. I have added on a couple of things to the end now, which is a gym area. So for the gymnastics amongst us, I've put 2, so I used for this the 2.4 metre posts, again just set into the concrete, and then what we've done here, we've used these clamp bars. So these are the adjustments. These are 75 M8s, which go in quite well. They're 75 mils, they kind of come to about here, so you can just pilot hole them and screw them in. 3/4 inch metal bars. Gives it actually quite a bit of rigidity as well. So this is the main bar that's been used for the gymnastics. These are mainly been put in for support because it stops these giving flex when the gymnast is on there. And then the other thing we've done, we've put in 1 higher bar here. So we put 1 bar in at the top, and that's so that you can either jump from this bar up to there, and we've got some gymnastic rings now as well hanging off them. So that's the setup. So that's the additions we've done on it, just to help extend it a bit. A couple of things I have done actually, I will tell you why I'm here. I have put a couple of supports in here. So you'll see here I've got a couple of triangular supports. It's just to give the thing, because it's been used by so much now in terms of gymnast stuff and then pulling on the bars a lot, it just gives it extra strength by doing it, because obviously it's not a triangular structure, it's square, so you're going to get movement otherwise. So I put a couple of braces in, 1 here, and I've put 1 brace in over here as well. So that's my second brace in there. So it just stops the thing actually moving. So now, when I'm on this, it's very, very solid now as well. So there we go. That's the final structure, really. I think so. We're pretty happy with it, and hopefully the kids will be as well.